What's good, YouTube? My name is Mark,
And my name is Alexis.
and it's our YouTube channel called the Couples Corner. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about Drake, the evolution or lack of evolution of his music. We're basically going to go through every album, likes, dislikes, see has he evolved or has he evolved or he hasn't evolved. The first one.
So wait, before this starts,
Okay.
If you are obsessed with Drake, let me tell you right now, including my brother-in-law. What's up, John? You're not gonna like this video because what I have to say is nothing but facts. So all you Drake lovers, if Doughboy ever sees this, yeah.
Now we're not saying that he's a bad artist by any stretch of the
After
means.
you watch this, it'll give you a different perspective on him.
Yeah, you ready for the smoke? But yeah, it's just you know, we are a fan of Drake, but we are not like a huge fan of Drake. We like, you're not a fan?
He's more of a fan to me. I'll listen to his music, but do I select him? Just select him like it's my first choice? Probably not. He's not even in my top 10.
Okay.
I know it's fucked up. I'm sorry. I don't think I have a top 10.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. On that note, we're gonna reference. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So like she was about to say, we're gonna reference his earlier work before he got with Young Money and when he started associating himself with Young Money. We're gonna reference that, but for the most part, we're gonna be talking about the albums.
Okay, so I was introduced to Drake, I remember, in 8th grade. The first song I heard by him was Best I've Had. And I liked it. Because I was like, okay, he's rapping, but he's singing. Okay, that's cool. You know, then I heard a couple songs I heard like Uptown with him and Bun B. Then I heard Successful. Then I heard a couple things off his next mixtape. I heard Share. I heard Closer to My Dreams.
Houston, Vegas.
Houston, Vegas. I heard A Night Off with him and Lloyd. I heard Brand New. It was his early stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I fucked with it a lot. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if it's the going mainstream that made him different, or he just trying to keep up with what's going on, or I don't know. What did you think about his other stuff? Well, when would you introduce to him first?
First song I heard was, I think it was either Successful or Houston, Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is cool. But then,
did you think he'd be around for a long time, or not really?
See, I caught on to him just before his album dropped.
Okay.
Just for
His first album.
Thank Me Later dropped. So, of course, I heard Best I Ever Had. Got tired of it real quick because of the radio. Sister Park, that used to be the number one for a while.
So do you feel like his songs get annoying fast?
Yeah, I think like a lot of his songs, they don't
age well.
Yeah, they don't age well. They're not. They're like, if it comes on, okay, you cool.
But after the first, like a couple times, you're like, yeah, okay.
You kind of go without it because it's like, it's not a lot you could really go off because all he really has is either talking about his upbringing with his parents breaking up, or he's gonna talk about girls, or he's gonna be braggadocious and talk about what he could do,
money and all that shit.
But he can't talk about being tough and stuff like that, which is not his character.
You know what? I can honestly say he can never say he has though. He can never say he's never said it. I can honestly say that.
So I don't want to go too much into it as far as rambling off, but that's my first introduction to Drake. So we're going to be going through Thank Me Later.
We're going to go to his first album, which is Thank Me Later. So this is the only Drake album I actually bought. The physical album. I actually like this album, actually. I can pretty much go through it, most songs, without skipping them. I guess it really it was still early Drake when I still was like, okay, overall, I give the album probably a B. You know, I pretty much liked every song. Production was well. The songs were easy to get into. What do you think?
What didn't you like?
What songs did I like?
Yeah,
Or what did
what
I
do you
like
think
about
could
the
have made it from a B to a?
album? That's a good question. I'm gonna have to come back. Yeah, I'm gonna let you talk later. I'm gonna think about it.
Yeah. So when I heard the album, I think I bought the album.
Can you show me a good? You gotta be kidding.
So you had Lights Up, Fancy, Unforgettable, Miss Me. You had Over. So he had a lot of hits. He had a lot of this. That album was more him showing you that he can make hits.
Right.
I think he had karaoke on there. So like it was more of him showing that he could do hits. Which, of course, coming out the gate, you need to have some songs that is going to stay.
Be radio
friendly
Yeah.
songs. So he had a lot of them on his first one. So that one, I give him credit. He's always had songs where it's radio friendly. Like it's a great introduction to listen to the album. But it depends on the type of listener. Are you going to continue to listen to the album throughout the year? Or are you going to listen to it in spots during the year? So for that album, I only listened to it, I'll probably say like 3-4 times since its release, in its entirety. But I've heard the hits periodically throughout the years.
So what's the grade?
I'm gonna give that album. I'll give it an A because it's his first go around. So it's like
it's a good first album. It is a good first album.
But it's not, it's not as, I don't think it's better than the next album that we're about to talk about.
Okay, so you give it an A, I give it a B. Okay. Okay. So what when you heard the album, what impression did you get about him? Like what kind of artist is he gonna be? What do you feel like he's gonna be around? Like what was your first impression of him from the first album?
I knew
as far as content.
I knew he's gonna be around as far as someone who can make hits. Because there's not a lot of people who could basically consistently make a hit. So he's shown that he can make hits. He has a lot of them on that first album. So I'm not going to penalize him for the first one because I think it was a good one. But later on, I'll let you know why I feel the way I feel about Drake. So the next album we're gonna go into is Take Care. Do you want me to lead or I'll lead? All right. Again, he showed that he had more hit. He showed that he could make hits, but he also had songs that could be like, it didn't have to be a hit, but it has a core following.
This shows you the.
He showed his rapping side on this one.
I thought he showed more on this one.
No, but I'm saying like the song with Rick Ross on that album. Like his bars, you could tell that his bars was getting better. Like he was progressing. Like you could tell that if he really wanted to, he could be one of the best. On some of the songs he was rapping. But he also, I think he reached his peak with that album, which I think he peaked early as far as making a concise album. I don't want to hog up too much, but I'll let you go with what you want to say.
It was some bops on here. Like, I mean, Practice. You got Hell Yeah Fucking Right, The Real Her. Cameras, Cameras is my song. Make me proud. eh. Marvin's Room was a little too emotional for me. Crew Love, I like that song. Headlines, the radio played that out too. Shot for Me, I like that song too. Okay, so I like this album as well, but I will say a lot of credit goes to The Weeknd because he wrote a good amount of songs. I guess this puts you in touch with like he said about his rapping, but also he showed you a little bit of his sensitive side. Like, I know my target audience is these people.
Yeah.
But I think what Mark said was right. As far as like consistency, I guess this one is the most consistent with, like, how do you say, like
you can listen to this through.
You can probably listen to it all.
It was a complete thought.
Yeah.
It was a complete thought.
It's not a song where you really just fast forward. Really, it's like you can probably listen to it all the way.
Yeah, that's probably like the best. That's the best Drake album he's ever made. And people who have writers, that's totally up to you.
That's fine,
but if you're a rapper, you're not really supposed to have a writer,
singer, Freddie Gill songs. What I will say is, your best album shouldn't be an album where you barely wrote any other songs. Though, I mean, I see his name on the credits, but like, how many people do you need? Like, I feel like if you really a great artist, well, everybody not a songwriter though, I guess. So,
but he says that he's written all his hits, but we thought that, but when
what I'm saying
later on after the riff with him and Meek, when Meek was tweaking at the time, him saying that he don't write all his stuff, you could tell that's a stain that's going to be on Drake's resume, and you could tell that it still bothers him when somebody brings up that he can't write, because come to find out, like she said, The Weeknd wrote a good part of the album. So, yeah.
Also, you can tell by like some of the stuff he says, it don't fit like with his personality to me. Like, certain things just don't seem like something he would say. Like, him as a person, it don't seem like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it matches him. So you could tell, like, usually when a person writes a song, you could tell, like, I've experienced this. This is my life. Mm-hmm. But I feel like Drake sings and raps about other people's life and not his own, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna front. Marvin's Room was hitting.
That's
for the time I was in my life.
No, I'm playing. But that song
at the time of my life,
Marvin's it makes you sound like a whiny little bitch. Like, you over here some fuck that nigga. Like, who does? What man does that? Like, oh my god.
I'm not gonna get too much into it, but like that song did struck a chord at that time. At that song did kind of struck a chord with me. So
fuck that nigga. Like, yeah. That's when I was like, okay, he a little emotional. This is when I knew he was a little emotional. Okay. And this is where it all starts going down. We're gonna go to his next album, which is
Nothing Was the Same.
Nothing Was the Same, and It All Was the Same. The reason why I say that is because the whole album sounds like one giant
run-off
just
sentence.
One thing, yeah. And like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a couple songs that I liked on the album, but overall, I would say, like, compared to the CDs previous to it, it was kind of like, like, it was kind of like, okay, well, let me just give you, for example, I guess the main leader of this album was what? Worst Behavior? Or was it? Start from the bottom.
Start from the bottom was, I think, the first song.
Start from the bottom was like.
What was your bottom?
He said growing up in Canada, they wasn't rich.
Well, okay. Okay. Let me take that back.
What was your bottom?
My favorite songs on that album, Tuscan Leather, Start from the Bottom, Worst Behavior, The Language, All on Me, or something like that.
Oh, All Me.
All Me, and Pound Cake was like my favorites on the album. I listened to that album one time. I was done with that one time. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not bashing Drake. It was just like, after a while, I was like,
I like The Motion.
Here we go.
I like Wu-Tang Forever. I like Worst Behavior. But it kind of got annoying to me after a while. Worse, like it was just his rap scheme is what's annoying to me. I think that's what it is. Like the way he raps is annoying to me. But like the language, that's a decent song. Drill Fight of my City, I like that song too. But this is when, okay, so y'all ever heard of like a chart where it shows you like the lines go up and down to show you like the progress? So the first two CDs it was going up, and then when like this CD came out, it went down, and then like
how far down?
It went down to me. Like it was a mountain, and then it went down like that to me. Okay. I just feel like he doesn't know what he wants to do, like, and it shows in his music. He's just really inconsistent. I mean, he consistent to where like this is the kind of music you're gonna get from Drake. This is what you're gonna get from him. But in that sense, but as far as like don't know what he want to do, I mean, like, do you want to be a singer? Do you want to be a rapper? Do you want to talk about hoes and bitches, or do you want to be in your feelings? And then you want to? I don't. What you think?
I think.
Or do you feel like it's good to be diverse like that?
For one, like you said, the core audience, you're supposed to cater to your core.
Women.
But at the same time, every album you're supposed to challenge yourself, and it seems like
he doesn't.
He was doing different. He does a lot of variations of the same thought.
Thank you. Somebody who understand me. That's all I've been saying. Everything he do is the same. It's just dipped in some new shit, but it's the same thing. It's hidden, but it's the same shit. Like you kind of like it's just like Steve Urkel and Stephon Urkel. You know it's still Steve Urkel, but it just look a little different. That's what it is. That's the perfect way for me to describe it. Like, I know I sound like a Drake hater, but I'm just one of those people that I'm just real. And it's like a lot of people go based off, he sells a lot of albums and he comes out with a lot of songs. What does that mean? You could sell a lot of albums and your music could be trash. Half of the artists out now sell a lot of records and get a lot of streams and their music is trash. So, quality and quantity is not the same thing. You can put out 1,500 songs a year and yeah.
So with that being said, he had the hits, but all the other songs kind of fell to the wayside. So my grade that one is going to be a C+.
I feel like he has fillers on his albums. He has songs that people like. Then he has a few just to make the album full. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like them couple songs you could have went without. That's how his album is to me. Like most of his albums are.
Okay. Yes.
So do you want to talk about that later or now? With the him having a plastic album, or you want to talk about that at the end?
So we talk about it until another time.
No, we can talk about that at the end though.
We can.
Okay. So
sorry about that.
It's okay. Sorry.
We going off the fly with this.
We're gonna go to his next album, which is Views.
Views.
What? Views. It is. It's right.
His next one.
Views. It's right after Nothing Was Name.
That was the next one.
Yeah, what was the next album?
Nothing. If you're reading this.
That's not an album. That's
okay.
A mixtape.
All right. My bad.
Unless you want to talk about that.
No, we talk about Views.
Oh. If you read this, it's too late. I kind of like that, but it's still the same. It's still the
That's
same.
because he had that, and then the same year he came out with the mixtape with him and
Future.
Future.
What about that one? But didn't you say that sound just like?
It sounded like Drake was visiting Future's world. He was just contributing.
Yeah, that is an unlikely couple pair. Like Future and Drake. That's.
And I think if they was going to execute it, I think they needed more time to try to execute that. I think they can execute it. I think it was rushed. It sounded rushed to me. It seemed like Future was basically almost done.
With his album.
Drake was like, "Let me come through and let me listen to it," and then just that's what it seemed like to me. Views.
Why don't you talk about that one a little more?
Views had Controller. Pop Style could have definitely been better if Kanye and Jay actually rapped on it.
They did. Oh, like better than what they did.
They were.
Oh, they only just said a few things.
They only said a few things. It's like when you gonna put Drake versus with featuring The Throne, you're expecting something monumental. That was disappointing.
Whatever the fuck we said.
I was so disappointed because The Throne came out with such a great album. So when you hear The Throne again on someone else's song, especially someone of Drake's caliber, you're expecting something that's going to be an instant classic. And Pop Style, it just seemed like we got that cliffhanger and the show just canceled. That's exactly how it felt like. But I think he had, like I said, he had Controller on that album.
So, okay, sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
So since Summer 16 came out in 16, even though it wasn't on the album, do you like this one?
It was great for that year.
Unnecessary.
It was great for that year.
But I mean, do you feel like it deserved to be on? Does it match this year, or do you feel like it?
I think it could have been a bonus.
Oh.
A bonus song on the album.
I agree with him on the Throne thing though. When you dealing with certain artists, you just gotta bring your game up. I understand. I completely understand.
Another thing with Drake was wrong on the song. It's just.
But he took off their verses and added his own replacement verses.
I know, because it was just like, and I get why Drake did that, because Jay was like, listen, you only getting 1 or 2 bars. And Kanye, you gonna say a little bit something, and then we out.
Like, I might as well just record the whole song by my damn self.
So I don't fault Drake on that. But I think some people, like Doughboy, he says that album is a classic.
He in love with him, and I hate it. I'm just like, I ain't never seen no grown man riding nobody's dick like that. It's ridiculous. Sorry. But if you ever see this, I'm just being honest. You ride dick too much. Like,
well, the way I'm going to say it is basically what she said, but I'm going to say it in a different way.
Say it in a PG way.
Doughboy. Drake is a great artist for what he does. I don't believe he showed me after this. He started to show me it after this album dropped. After listening to it a couple times, that he is more of a hit maker than an artist that can make a full body of work. Because he did it with Take Care, but it seemed like he lost his way after Take Care. So after that, I was just like, okay. I was like, you know what? Maybe he's not like that.
But is that another clue to tell you that he don't write his own music if he can't even come up with something?
I wouldn't say he don't write his music. I just say, like, when you say you're the best at something, you need to say me and my team are the best at this. Don't say I'm the best when you're not writing down the lyrics. Now I understand you might get help with you need to put this there, like some direction. But if I'm writing down what you're saying, and I'm a reference to nothing. What was it? The album. Let me say before that. I mean, if you're reading this too late, there's a lot of reference tracks from Quentin Miller. If you look up on the internet, Quentin Miller is saying the same thing. He's an upcoming rapper, and everybody that knows his backstory, Meek Mill referenced Quentin Miller saying that the songs that he did wasn't Drake didn't write it. Is reference tracks. So you can't say you're the best when you are not writing 100% of your raps. If not, I'll give you even. I'm being easy and say like maybe 90 and above. If you're not writing that much, you can't say you're the best.
If I go on your songs and I see 7 people on your songs, no.
But sometimes that's confusing though, because you might have
people to write one song. I'm sorry, like it's ridiculous. Like that's crazy to me.
I just think he's more of a hip,
basically
pop artist. What
he's trying to tell y'all is Drake ain't wrote no classic albums. He don't have a classic album. All he do is make hits. He don't make albums. He don't. You know what I'm saying? I can listen to Life After Death by Biggie Smalls and listen to the whole album. I can listen to Ready to Die and listen to the whole album. I can listen to certain people's albums and listen to the whole thing without skipping a song. You don't find stuff like that with Drake to me. I'm sorry. Like it's a couple songs I'd be like, nah, I could have dealt without that. And then if you're reading this, it's too late. A lot of people did like Legend and Energy, but after a while that gets boring too. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, if I die, you just want him to, like I'm just like, and it just lets you know like the hopelessness of this generation because people are so into him, and it's sad. It's really sad, and maybe was born in the wrong time. I don't know. Maybe I might sound like a hater. I just can't. Like, and then okay. So what do you think about? Okay, so this is when he came out with one dance and stuff. How do you feel about when he started getting into the Jamaican style?
Well,
I mean, he did it with Find Your Love. That was the first time.
He did.
But what I'm saying is, when he started getting more into it, how did you feel about that?
I was like,
to impress Rihanna. For real though.
I was just thinking that it was nice, but it's not something that I would have to lean on as far as I believe that didn't need to be a single. That could have been
Controller or One Dance. Because Controller sound like One Dance.
I kind of like Controller better than One Dance.
I need One Dance. Control. Well, yeah, okay.
I just like the vibe better because you can't have them both as a single.
Love better. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Jamaican style song he's made. Is Find Your Love. Okay. And then what about Too Good? You're way too good for me. You take my love for granted. I just don't understand. I
think some songs he could have written for somebody else and been like, here, you can take this.
Oh, what about What's My Name? I know that's Rihanna's song, but oh nah, what's my name? Oh no, what's my name? Well, he was rapping on that song though.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Right. I just think he do a lot of stuff too.
I think
Rihanna and other people.
I think the best thing for Drake to do at this point is just rap.
So don't sing at all.
But then again, singing is part of his repertoire, so he can't really totally neglect singing. So,
but
I think he should, if he's gonna make an album, shorten it. Don't expand it.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to figure out what to do.
I think he just really shorten his album and just have like, okay, this is it, 10 songs.
Bam. Yeah, I agree. I don't feel like he needs like long albums because after like number 10, they really after half of it, 9, 8, you kind of like.
And I've heard these albums more than twice.
Yeah. Mark listens to song. Mark know what he's talking about. He listens to albums more than once. He knows what he's talking about. Because the
first time I listened to an album, I might catch
beats.
A couple of things. He
listening for beats. Then next time he listens to lyrics. So Mark knows what he's talking about. Listen to him.
But enough on this album.
So that brings me to his last album, which I know you're gonna have a lot to say about this one. Scorpion. I have something to say about this one because look,
Scorpion.
I was highly fucking bored. I'm sorry. Especially, I couldn't even listen to the goddamn In My Feelings because I'm like, they played that shit so much to fucking dance. God's playing too much. It's
who else? He had a song with Michael Jackson on that song. He had a song with Michael Jackson on that album.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had Michael Jackson vocals on it.
What song?
It's on the R&B side. I don't remember him having, but let me see that album. Let me see, because we're not going to More Life because that was a playlist. Scorpion, I'll have to do Talk Up, Mob Ties, and 8 out of 10. I couldn't get into the R&B side. I couldn't get over the hump of the rap because it's like, after a while, I'm like, you're not saying anything right now to me. And I'm listening to it over and over again, trying to convince myself I could get through this. And I could not get through this. So, and people who saying that Drake has more than one classic, which Take Care could possibly be a classic, because to me it's a classic. It's a classic to me, but that's the closest he's ever been. Can he get to that level? Maybe.
Sidebar. Charged Up. I love that song. Continue.
But that wasn't even on the album.
I know. A lot of songs he make that ain't on albums are better than the songs that's on the album. That's my point. Continue. And you proved it. Thank you. I'm charged up.
I was kind of over it. And then plus, before the album dropped, his beef with Pusha.
I thought Charged Up was Meek Mill. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, I'm talking about this timeline.
Yeah. So, if you have a beef like that, you supposed to come with some shit, some good shit. And you come with this bullshit? We were waiting, See,
and think about it, according to Mr. J. Prince, Drake said Drake had a response, but it was taking a toll on him, this beef that he had. With Pusha destroying him on that track, saying that, deadbeat MF playing Border Patrol, talking about his mom, talking about his father, talking about his child, talking about his baby mother. He talked about the producer, which I didn't like that line that Pusha said, because Pusha looks like he's always ready for that smoke. But
you can't fuck with a Taurus. That's all I'm saying. We fucking savages. We mean as shit. When we get into beef with you, we not gonna say nothing that's not true, and that's not going. That's why I try not to get too mad, because we gonna tell real shit. That's why your mama a hoe. That's why your daddy fucking prostitute. See, that's why I try not to get into it with nobody. Don't get into it with a Taurus, bro. A Taurus and a Scorpio. This is where it fucked up. Drake is a Scorpio. I'm sorry, I'm into Zodiac. Continue. Sorry.
But just to finish off that point, I think I don't think he could do an album like that, as far as rapping and R&B side. And then
what about the new thing?
And then the new album, I have mixtape. I have some takeaways from that. I like the first, I'll say 3 tracks. Then after it kind of it takes a dip, and then I saw
pretty accurate.
the D4L track with him, Future, and Young Thug. Now, I just started listening to a little bit of Young Thug. I think Young Thug would have made that song justice if he was more featured on that song.
Oh, so
if he was more on that song.
So what are you saying? You like Young Thug? Or you saying
Young Thug?
Like
he's different. He's an acquired taste. And me, usually I'll listen to something that is out of the norm. I liked the song "Demons" with Fabio. The drill scene that is now taking place. A lot of people doing a lot of drill. Like Pop Smoke, he was a drill artist. Like how Chief Keef, when they would come their music, that was Chicago drill.
What is a drill? What is it?
Like it's more grimy. It's more
Just say
harder.
Just say grimy.
So, and from what I've seen through a lot of videos that I was looking on YouTube, a lot of the songs are really like snippets of songs, and he just really compiled those songs together.
People don't realize a mixtape is when you take other people's stuff. That's what a mixtape is. So him and Tory Lanez, they do what they're supposed to do when it comes to mixtapes. You're supposed to use other people's songs, make it better, put your spin on it. That's what a mixtape is. So he really do know how to make a mixtape. The only problem is he's carrying that into his albums. All his albums have other people's shit on it too. That's the thing. That's the only problem. It's like you see how Kanye West is like the king of sampling beats. He the king of sampling in songs. It's like, yeah.
So basically, we about to end this video.
So basically, what we're basically trying to say is Drake has no classic albums, and me personally, I don't know about Mark. I don't feel like his music has evolved that much. I feel like it goes up and down, and it's not consistent. And I feel like until he finds out what he wants in his personal life, then his music is gonna be the same. It's not gonna change. You have to. Everybody needs to eventually get to that point where, I hate to say this because I don't really fuck with him. They have their 444 album, basically. Everybody needs that album that's like, this is it. This is that album. This is that album. Everybody needs that. And I don't think Drake has got there yet.
Well, I agree with everything what she said. And it'll take time for him to get to that point. But still waiting. Well, we're gonna wrap this video up. But so make sure that you like,
comment,
subscribe,
and share.
All social media links will be in the description below. Thank you everybody for the support. Thank you for the new followers that we received. We really appreciate it.
Faster, yes.
Well, it's a process, and you know, we made it this far. We started in January, so it's true. We're really grateful for everybody. So, thank you for all the love and support. And is anything else you want to say?
That's it.
All right. Peace.